which is, for those of you who are not aware, this is a tech festival that brings the community together to share knowledge and new skills with one another. Every year you sponsor Hackfort, which is, for those of you who are not aware, Hackfort. This is a tech festival that brings the community together to share knowledge and new skills with one another. Hackfort. 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 Hackfort.
All right, we are live. Mike Taylor, Sean Wakely reporting in. Welcome to the first, actually not really the first, this is like the 8th first try at the Hackfort Live pilot. It's all good, Mike. We've been doing this, for 49 minutes? We're doing pretty good.
Yeah. It's still light out.
Yeah. Well,
it's a good sign.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in, which is probably a 0 actually, because we're not really advertising this, but we're just kind of testing out our systems to see how it goes. This is Hackfort Live. It's going to be a bi-weekly show where Mike and I kind of talk about all things tech and nerd out.
Yeah.
And tonight, we're just kind of just to give you a brief overview of what the show looks like. We basically do an introduction. We're going to talk about current technology. We're going to usually have some type of content segment, maybe around a video game review or some new piece of hardware Mike and I are excited about. Really kind of everything's in that vein of technology, video games, culture, etc. We're going to try to bring guest interviews onto the show and do guest segments. Those interviews could be anything from musicians that are into technology to actual people that work in the field that are working on innovation, video games, etc. We might also work in some segments around that as well. And then, every night we'll wrap up the show, and then we also plan to have an after show. That is, we'll take a break. We will kind of regroup, and then we'll jump back online. Probably most likely just play video games and interact with our audience and just kind of try to have fun with everybody who's out there. So, I'm going to kind of just jump into tonight. Mike and I, it's kind of the elephant in the room, but Mike and I will introduce ourselves, and then we'll kind of get into the nitty gritty of Hackfort. Obviously, the one thing that is a little bit of a sad thing is that Treefort and Hackfort got postponed this year, and because of our current world situation with COVID-19. So anyways, we'll probably talk about that a little bit more, but Hackfort is still planned for September 24th through the 26th, so we will obviously talk about that a little bit more. So anyways, without further ado, I want to introduce myself. I'm Sean Wakely. I'm the director of Hackfort. This is my second year helping run the festival with my assistant director, Mike Taylor. And I'm just like an all-around nerd. I love music. I got into Treefort because of my love for music and technology, and Hackfort has been near and dear to my heart, and it's a big part of my life, and I'm super, super happy to be involved. And I love meeting new people, and I love the whole culture around technology and music, so it's a great fit for me. So, and now, Mike, I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, I'm Mike. I'm assistant director. Huge gamer, big fan of technology. Also a bit of a musician, but I have a weird relationship with that. But I've been getting back into it lately. And second year, been a fan of Hackfort since the get-go. I've attended almost all of them. I had to skip one, I think. Just really, really awesome. Love doing it.
Great. Awesome, Mike. Well, let's just kind of get into the meat and potatoes. So, Hackfort 2020. Mike and I would say, have planned a really fun show, and the show still will go on unless something changes. Like I said, we had to postpone. It was the right thing to do. Treefort, the world's all on pause, really. We're all in this together, and Mike and I have been working from home. And we've been. It's honestly, it gave us some fuel to really work on this. So there's a lot of silver lining here, and I really do want to say to everybody out there that we worked with and planned with, thank you everybody for all your support. I mean, Mike and I, it's just been amazing how supportive everybody has been, and that's huge. And I really love the Boise community, and I love all of the artists and talent that we've had to work with. You guys have been great, and you're in it for we're all in it for the long haul. So I'm real excited, and hopefully in September we'll be rocking it in no time. COVID-19 has really affected all of us, and I don't know if you have anything to say about that, Mike, but
No, it's absolutely right, and I really feel for all the artists that didn't get to make it and had to cancel all their tours and their live shows, and local businesses that are suffering. Like, this thing just needs to end soon, and hopefully we can all help support all those people that are out of so many of the things they were counting on.
Yeah, for sure. And that's actually something we should talk about, Mike. Maybe we can pull up when we go to the news segment, the new cultural relief fund that was just made in Boise.
Yeah,
we should pull that up and show that. That's actually something great for anyone local to Boise. We'll talk about it, but you can apply for some grants to kind of talk about your experience right now in this pandemic. So, I wanted to say, the Hackfort in September is still going to be at the Boise Center. It's going to be in a different location, but it actually might work out better. We actually ended up getting more space. I would say the view isn't as nice, but I think it's going to work out in our advantage if it all comes together. We're going to be able to hopefully have the Boise land right next to us, and that'll be really fun. And I think there's enough space that I'm thinking silent disco, Mike.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we'll keep brainstorming on that one once we get probably June, July time. We'll see where we're
pretty
at.
Awesome. Yeah.
So that'll be good, and honestly, September Treefort, I'm excited. Warm weather,
Yeah.
flip-flop weather still, we're gonna be in our board shorts hanging out outside. It's not gonna be cold and snowy or rainy or whatever like it usually is.
That'd be crazy. So. Maybe we have an outdoor hack for it.
Yeah, who knows? That'll be good. That's all I have to really say about Hackfort. Mike and I are working on it. You can always find our website if you have any questions. You can email the Hackfort email. Reach out to us on social media. We're still planning to go full steam ahead, and most of our talent is planning to be there too. And everyone's just kind of waiting. We're just kind of waiting to see. It's kind of really hard to pull the trigger on something right now in the height really of this pandemic. So we just kind of have to be patient.
Yeah, we've got a lot of verbal confirmations, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are still planning on coming, but you know.
Yeah, and we just at this time we don't really want to. We just kind of want to wait and see how things unfold and stay positive, and it's the best we can do.
Yep. I got an email today from my work saying that we're going to start phasing reopening.
Oh, good. Yeah, we're my day job. I work at a company called Genetics, and they are also working on looking at that as well, depending on each state that we work in. But I'm not minding working at home, but I gotta say I'm missing all my coworkers and my friends. So that's I'm definitely realizing how much that impacts my day. And as much as video chat works, it's just I'm bored. I want to go say hi and move around.
Yeah, today I was going to do a Zoom meeting with some coworkers, and I was looking forward to it. And then, one of my coworkers said, "Oh, can we I can't make it to this one." And I was like, "Oh my God, I needed this meeting." So I asked the other person, they're like, "Hey, do you still want to meet and just talk?"
That's funny. Did it work? Did you guys meet? Okay, good.
Well, we just met for an hour, and we were both doing work, but we're just in a meeting.
Good. That's cool. Nice.
I think. Yeah.
Social. I think that does matter. Just being able to have social. That happens to me a couple times at work too. When I get on the phone with Matt, we end up working, and then we're like, "Oh yeah, we're still on the phone."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Well, yeah. So, Let's just go into the news, Mike. Maybe let's start. I want to pull up that from Shreveport. Actually, I'm gonna try to pull that up right now. Get that loaded up. The new Shreveport cultural. Get that pulled up for us. That is not what I wanted to pull up, Shreveport. Should be on the top of their news right here. Oh, maybe I don't have it on the front page right now.
Really?
Yeah. They have the new beer, which is awesome.
Let me see if I can.
Let's see right here.
I shared it on Facebook.
Yeah, maybe
Should
I
be
just
able
have
to find
to
it
pull
there.
Yeah, maybe I'll just pull it up on Facebook. I shared it as well. There it is. Come on, guys. Why isn't that on the front page? Should be. All right, let's transition here to Chrome. There we go. It's called the COVID Cultural Commission Fund, and yeah, we teamed up with Boise Department of Arts and History, Boise, and Morrison Center. Really, anybody who wants to apply, they're giving $1,000 to people that want to talk about their experience in this time. Personal experiences, creative livelihoods during the crisis. I think this is amazing. So for any of you creative people out there, or even techie people that might be able to just talk about how this has affected your life, you can apply right online, and I think this will be really, really cool for anybody in the community. I'm really happy that the Boise community came together to help make it work.
Yeah, I was really excited to apply, but eligibility says I can't because I'm on Boise State full-time
Oh shoot!
staff.
Well, let's help out
But
those starving artists, Mike. Right?
yeah. I sent it along to some creatives I know instead.
Yeah. So that's gonna be pretty sweet. Definitely, I think people should be checking that out. So yeah, back to news. One thing for me that I was a little excited to hear about. My day job, I'm a network engineer, and I work in sales. And last week, the FCC actually announced that they are expanding our Wi-Fi spectrum. For all you nerds out there, really, for people that aren't that techie, this is actually a really big deal. They're adding the 6 gigahertz spectrum, and that's a lot of bandwidth. And they're calling it Wi-Fi 6E. So if you've heard of Wi-Fi 6, this is kind of the enhancement to that. But really, it almost quadruples the amount of devices that can sit on that airwave. And really, you're not going to see it. It doesn't mean speed. Don't think speed. Just think about capacity. Now we live in a world where we have so many devices that need to connect to the internet. So this really allows to manage that in a big way.
But really Sean, cool. 6 is only one number above 5. So why is that a big deal?
This is all marketing hype. Mike, they used to just call it 802.11xxx, and that was really confusing. So I'm really happy that they updated it. I'm actually more happy that they updated it to, use numbers. What that could tell you is if it's 6E and not 6, 6E is newer. It used to be, pretty confusing for people who weren't that techie. And, I just think this is a cool little nibbit. It's not often that they open up spectrum, especially like Wi-Fi.
So what was using those frequencies before? Was anything?
They could have been used by police or military, most likely. They really only opened up, in the 6 gigahertz spectrum, they opened up, 1,200 megahertz of additional bandwidth. So it's 1.2 hertz of that bandwidth. So, it's just for people to simplify it, just really understand it's going to make it a lot easier to have a lot more devices connected, and in the end, it just helps it be more efficient. It doesn't really give you a whole lot more speed. We're kind of capping out at speed, but it's just efficiency, and it's nerdy.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Let's see here. What was our next article, Mike? What did you?
Maybe we'll do one I did.
Yeah. Sure. Which one do you want to do?
These ones, you don't have to really look at
Okay.
the
You
details
don't
too
want me to
much.
pull it up? Okay.
Well, you don't need to. I just wanted to bring up,
Okay.
like, with everyone working from home lately, tech news has kind of focused around all the communication tools, like the
Yeah,
ones
sure.
we're using right now.
Yeah.
And Microsoft Teams, Slack, Discord, Zoom, Google Hangouts Meet. Like, Facebook is making their own like webcam thing. Everyone's trying to copy Zoom's tiled videos, and it's just all the security concerns around Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting that Zoom, of course, someone found vulnerabilities in Zoom. There's vulnerabilities on a lot of these services. And of course, I thought the CEO, when he came out and just said, yeah, look, we didn't know that was a problem. We're going to look into it. We're going to fix it. I think he was very honest and open. And I think they've already made like a bunch of updates. So it's kind of like people just want to, attack these guys because, oh, you lied to me. Well, he didn't lie to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the amount it exploded was totally unprecedented too. Like,
yeah.
They had like 10 million users, and then they exploded to 80 or more.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you use at your office?
We use Cisco WebEx, which is owned by Cisco, which is funny. Zoom is actually kind of an offshoot of WebEx, so built on similar tech. WebEx, I mean, works. It has its quibbles. I think the video quality is pretty good. I mean, you have to pay for it for enterprise, so it better work. I would imagine if you're paying a lot of money to use their service. Personally, I'm a pretty big fan of Google. I think Google's Hangouts and Enterprise works really well, and the video quality's been great during the pandemic. And you got to think, like, all these services are just getting hammered. And every time I've tried to do a group call with friends on Google, the video quality's been good. Zoom's it's worked. I think it's hard for people to get connected, etc. So it's like.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion about waiting rooms and passwords and logging in. And I do like the virtual backgrounds though, and the tile view, but those are going to be totally copied in a matter of weeks, I think.
Yeah, the background stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I could see.
I went to my office last weekend and I took photos from everyone's desks, or from everyone's monitors.
Mm-hmm.
So now my whole team can use their offices as their backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's awesome.
Great.
Actually, I didn't pull it up, but I actually saw that Adult Swim just released a whole bunch of backgrounds.
They did?
For Zoom, yeah, and it's like a lot of them are like Rick and Morty and stuff, and they're super high res and awesome. So yeah, for anybody who wants to geek out, that's pretty awesome. I can't use backgrounds at work, so I don't think it works on WebEx. They're too professional. They don't do that.
What do you think about Discord? I know I'm just jumping from topic to topic, but Discord's been adding awesome features all the time. You can stream inside of Discord now, just your gameplay.
I saw that.
You can screen share, you can do webcam, video calls, audio. It's like Slack, but
I mean, I think Discord's really been pretty cool. I feel like in our group of friends though, we're always just like, oh, they're recording everything we say.
That's true.
What are we doing? But
yeah,
I don't know. It's like Google. It's like in Google we trust, and I think those guys aren't doing anything malicious. I think they're just trying to and they have premium features you can pay for now, right? Paywall kind of stuff.
Store. It's a game marketplace now too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, since you and I are on the topic, Telegram, that was one of the articles I wanted to pull up. Telegram promises secure group video calls sometime this year. I mean, Mike, I think you and I are a little biased toward Telegram, but I am pretty
I
stoked
love Telegram.
Yeah, and I'm really stoked to hear this. They just announced they just surpassed 400 million active users, which is actually more users than Zoom, which is pretty crazy.
400 million?
Yeah, that was their milestone, and that's why they announced this. And when they say they're going to do secure group video, I know they're not lying, because these guys were the ones to really do secure chat, for the first time well. I mean, Al Qaeda used them. I mean, it's banned in China and Russia. If they're doing it right, and countries are banning the use of an app, it really is a secure app, and it's open source. You can look at all their code online. They're very transparent.
And to give a different example, the Hong Kong protesters also use it.
Yeah, it's been used all over the world, and they've gotten flack, in the past, because secure chat is not enabled by default. In fact, I don't even know if you can do it with group right now. It has to just be peer-to-peer. They have encryption, but it's not like the high level encryption that you have to do a secret chat with. But I imagine if they're going to do secure group video, they're probably working on that too. I just think it's a great chat app. It's open source. I can use it on my laptop. I can use it in my web browser. I can use it on any device.
Yep.
I painfully drag my friends into using it, all my friends with iPhones, to make group chats, because it's way better. You can share. It doesn't matter what device you're on. You can share your media, and you're not stuck with iMessage or Google's new service. I mean, I think it's great. So that's
amazing.
That's my high horse on that.
Wait, there's a desktop app?
Oh yeah, I use it all the time. You should
I
download
haven't used that yet.
Oh yeah, I use it. It's the best. And they keep updating it too. The desktop app I actually like more than the web browser. It has a lot more features.
The web browser for me sometimes doesn't load.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the web browser. It's nice to have, but it's not a,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the desktop app. I have it on my computer. It's great.
And there's so many. It's like Discord in that you can develop things for Telegram. You can have bots. You can have a group with 10,000 people in it or something.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
And you can public groups.
You can have admins. You can have polls. They just added Quizzes 2.0. I mean, it really is it's a pretty beautiful open platform, and it's used all over the world. It's not like it's just like this local thing. In fact, I think they're based out of like Russia, or not Russia, based somewhere in Europe, I think.
We should get them to Hackfort.
Yeah, maybe we should. Well, Mike, I think you had something on Twitch getting an esports directory.
Yeah, since I'm kind of a fan of certain esports and certain local esports programs.
What like in layman's terms, like what does this really mean for people that are into, maybe just to highlight, esports or online video games, competitive online video games?
I think this is.
Oh, they kind of show.
All it is it's just a quality of life thing. Like before, you had to really be in the know. Like, oh, there's a tournament going on for League of Legends, and I know that because I'm a big League of Legends fan.
Oh yeah, and you can see here, I have the screen pulled up, but you can kind of see that they have like a screenshot where now you just go to the esports section and you just look for the game you want to see competing. That's smart. That's smart. And obviously, if it's a tournament,
all sorts of tournaments all the time.
Yeah, and obviously, you could maybe try to search, but God, who knows? You're better off like searching Google for a tournament and then finding the Twitch stream, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering if this will be like what they'll use to qualify what a esports is. Like when Boise State goes live, well then they show up in these.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. But anyway, I think that's just a good quality of life thing for esports fans.
Let's see, there was another one. Okay, this is one I wanted to talk about that I saw last week. That this is something you and I can both kind of geek out on. SpaceX is making modifications to its Starlink satellites to make it less blight of the night sky. And,
thank God.
Yes, this was a big deal. I remember hearing about this, and I was bummed because Mike and I also are into astronomy and stellar photography, and this was a problem. If you see this image on the screen here, you see this streak. This was a photo taken by an astrologer of a satellite streaking across. the atmosphere. And these new satellites have a great purpose. Elon Musk and SpaceX have been launching these to create a satellite network that in theory is going to make some pretty high-speed internet that anyone can access, maybe for a reasonable price. They keep saying that, but we'll see how it pans out. But the problem was these things are covered in basically mirrors and that are reflecting the sun, and so they're trying to figure out a way to make those not do that. And I've seen photos where there's like more than one, and you can't take, even with high-powered telescopes, it was a huge problem. So hopefully they'll figure this out. I mean, how many did they say on here? It's like the company was approved to launch 12,000 satellites and applied to launch 30,000 more. So, I mean, if we have 30,000 satellites making those streaks, I think that would be...
That would be a disaster.
Yeah.
That'd be a travesty.
Yeah, we already have enough light pollution as it is, and this would just kind of be game over. So hopefully they'll figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what Elon Musk said. The company is working on reducing the glare that these CubeSats create. The founder CEO says sunshades, which are made of dark foam, or barely affect radio transmissions, could help the satellites keep a low profile. This is good news for astronomers. So hopefully they just went, oh yeah, we shouldn't have thrown glass cubes or mirror cubes into space. That was a really bad idea. But
yeah.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? I don't know. It's pretty funny. But yeah. What was another one you had, Mike? You had something... Sparklight.
I added one.
Yeah, just now.
Earlier. It was not Sparklight. It's our friends, Edge Networks.
Oh, Edge. Where's that one? Let me pull that up.
That's the Idaho Statesman article.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's it. Let me pull that up. So yeah, I remember we just got that email today from our buddies at Edge.
Yeah, I actually saw that article yesterday, and I started reading it, and I'm like, oh my god, does Todd know about this?
And it was him.
Like these guys are trying to compete against Edge Networks, and it's like, oh, it's actually Todd. Okay.
Yeah, so to let everybody know, Edge Networks is a startup Mike and I were real excited to bring on this year, and they're still definitely excited to be involved, but they are working on next generation television, which is basically 4K television over the air. The benefit to this is there's way more capacity in the spectrum they were able to license, similar to like my Wi-Fi thing. They were able to get over the air analog signal that can support 4K transmission, but also has enough bandwidth to do internet over the air. So this is it has a lot of potential to really change people's access. Even going back to the satellites in space we were just talking about, this is another new way for people to get access to internet. And also, no one has done 4K. In fact, Shreveport, in theory, might be the first of a live event to have a live stream in 4K, which will be really, really cool. We've been working with them. Todd is great. We're really, really excited to have those guys. Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Yeah, it initially confused me because I hadn't heard what the actual service would be called until I read this article. Because I don't know if they even decided on what it was called, but it's called something that starts with an A.
Yeah, right on.
But sounds cool. I'm interested.
Yeah, no, sign me up for sure. Yeah, that's definitely good news.
The more competition in that space, the better. Especially sporting local.
Yeah.
Good thing to do.
I think the only other news article I had thrown on there, just because I thought it was kind of interesting and also kind of worthy of the show, was Fortnite hosting Travis Scott's concert. 12.3 million people watched it live. This is just a new medium. I mean, we've seen other Fortnite hosts, musicians before, but this was like watching an interactive video game event. They created a show in the game, and he was performing the music live, but obviously it's a video game, so he was swimming, he was doing all these things, transforming. I just think this is interesting because it's like a new medium, a new thing. What do you think, Mike?
I know.
I mean, it's interesting, especially with the pandemic. There's no music festivals right now. There's no anything.
I know.
But
that
I mean,
that number 12 million is astounding to me.
yeah, it really
That's amazing.
You know, and I don't know if that's 12. It's probably not 12 million people in the same server, right? I
Yeah,
imagine
yeah,
you're
yeah,
still capped at 100 per server, but
yeah.
do the math.
Across
That's
multiple servers. That's a
that's a
lot of
lot.
servers.
It's a lot of servers, right? They just do it. Well, they call them instances, right? I mean, there's probably one server hosting several instances, right? But it's really amazing. I mean, 12.3 million people. That's nothing to
Yeah,
bat an eye at. And with this pandemic, it's like this is a creative way for a musician to play to his fans, right, Mike? I mean,
yeah. And that has been a huge topic in my circles. Is like, how do you do events now?
yeah,
And Fortnite has that that tool at their disposal. I just got an email from AltSpace VR. Remember that game I was telling you about?
yeah,
That
yep,
we're thinking about doing some stuff in.
yeah, totally.
I just got an email that Reggie Watts is going to be performing in AltSpace VR for the next week, and you can RSVP to be in his show.
Huh. Well, that's
And
cool. Do you have to RSVP? You can't just join it when it's live. Like you get an invite.
I think because there's going to be so much demand that's probably how they do it.
Okay. Huh. Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
So virtual concerts.
Yeah. No, I mean, in VR in general, I mean that's a whole nother can of worms, which I'm sure you and I will talk about in later episodes. But I'm starting to see. I mean, virtual reality is obviously, if we're all stuck at home, we all want to go somewhere to enjoy ourselves, and VR really might. You can't. The Oculus Quest and I think pretty much every headset out there right now you cannot get. My friend Rachel, I told her to sign up, and she just got hers in the mail, and they were out of stock for like a month. She just got a Quest.
Yeah, Jesse got one, and he spent $200 over MSRP to get it.
Jeez. All right, I don't think it's worth that, but
I don't think it is either. But
if you want your VR,
he wanted it. But oh man, yeah. If we want to talk about VR,
yeah. Well, I mean, it's a good segue.
Really nice to have in this
our
time too.
kind of next segment. You and I are going to talk about just games right now. Let's talk about the games you and I have been playing and kind of what's up. So, Mike, you want to start with a game that you and I might have played in our childhood and have fond memories of that just got re-released?
Oh, yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing that off and on for a couple days now. It's grown on me. I was a little worried at first that they ruined my favorite game, but I think they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, there's been some controversy. I think I told you, I personally am since they're doing it episodic, I'm just going to wait till it's done. And I know that might be years, but I just don't want to finish and then just have to wait again. I've already been waiting since the PS4 came out. When did they say the Final Fantasy VII Remake was going to come out originally? Wasn't it they're like, this will be out, and they showed us the preview 2012.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, so anyways, it was good though, right? You had fun playing it?
Yeah, I'm not done. I'm maybe halfway.
Yeah,
but yeah, the combat's really good.
Yeah. Is it still using materia and stuff like that?
Yeah, there's still materia. When you level it up all the way, though, the materia doesn't create a duplicate, which kind of sucks. Because then I don't know. Then once you max a materia out, then it's no point in using it anymore. Because you're not upgrading anything. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been playing that, but Warzone also I've been playing.
Yeah, Warzone.
That's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I finally played with you. I'm guessing that's what we'll probably play tonight after the show.
Probably.
I know that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, Warzone's sweet. I mean, it's kind of funny because you've never really been into the battle royale games. and I've been like
Yeah.
obsessed. I mean, I played Apex a lot, and I still kind of miss Apex a little bit, the pacing of Apex, but Warzone's just fun. Like there's a
I'm
lot more
much better in
opportunity.
Warzone.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just not as good, but Apex was really hard.
Yeah. Yeah, and and maybe it's just because there's a lot more opportunity in Warzone. I think you die. I die, but there's a lot of ways to get back. I mean, they've done a good job.
I really like that.
And maybe it's because we're playing with people on console too. Maybe that's why. Like, I feel like I get a lot more kills. I get a lot more kills than I used to, and I think it's maybe it's because we're on PC and they're on console, and they just can't react.
That's just totally unfair.
I mean, I'm sure they have some aim assist, but we're still. I mean, you know how to aim. You're not in a good spot, you know.
Yeah, it has been nice because I can play with like my roommate he's on my PS4 and I'm on my PC.
Yeah,
we can play together.
Cool. Yeah, no, I think crossplay is a smart move, and I'm happy it's becoming more and more, normal. I mean, I think when the new consoles come out this Christmas, if they come out this Christmas, pandemic is maybe not helping that. I think we're gonna see a lot more crossplay. I think they finally, especially Sony, like I think Sony's finally like fine.
Yeah, well, I think they realize if they make a game free to play and have like tons of microtransactions in it, and eliminate all barriers to someone not getting it, like console exclusivity, then hey, you end up making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. No, the Warzone's been great, and yeah, like I said, we'll probably play that tonight if people stick around for the after show, which is, I don't think we have anybody watching us anyways right now.
No.
No. All good. So you had Overwatch on our list, Mike. What do you want to talk about Overwatch? What's up? What's happening?
I was just admitting that I still play it and I love it. And
well, the one I put on here, I mean, Overwatch is still fun. People are still playing it, right? I mean,
yeah.
A lot of people are talking about Valerian. What is the new game? Valerian.
Valerian. Yeah.
Valerian.
Or
yeah.
No, Valorant.
Valorant. I think we're both butchering it, but it's.
I think that's it.
But it's
Valerian. Yeah. Maybe you're right.
Valorant. Anyways, that game's what everyone's been talking about when it comes to the kind of MOBA / shooter / whatever thing.
Yeah, I don't think I'm that interested in that one.
We'll see. I'll give it a chance when it comes out. I don't really care to play the beta, but I am the one game I really wanted to talk about tonight is Gris. GRIS. This is probably the best platformer I have played ever. It's one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. It's an indie game. Devolver Digital supported them, and they actually just hit 1 million copies, which I think it was partly to do with the pandemic. A lot of people at home, but honestly, it's an amazing game. It's like playing art. It's this beautiful artwork. You're playing this woman who's trying to bring color back to the world. It's a really mysterious game. It kind of reminds me of Journey in a way, but it's 2D. Highly recommend it. If you have a Switch, you can also get it on Steam, but I think it's a perfect game for Switch. The soundtrack, it's beautiful. It's not a long game. It's like 3 or 4 hours. You can't even really die or anything. You just kind of play through the adventure, and it's great. It's a puzzle game. Just you figure out kind of little platform puzzles. And, I actually pulled up just so people can see. This artwork you see is actually what the game looks like. I mean, it's crazy. You start playing the game, I thought I was playing a movie, and then it just kind of morphed into the game, and I was really blown away. The camera angle will shift in and out while you're playing, which is fabulous game. I mean, I can't speak enough about how much fun that was. I haven't gotten really transported by a game like that in a long time. Played it every night before I went to bed.
Wow. I might have to check that out.
Yeah, if it's on sale too, you should check it out, Mike. It was good. I think you'd like it. Mike, what VR game do you want to talk about?
Right now, I want to talk about 11 Table Tennis VR.
Okay.
Holy crap, Sean, you have to get this.
Has it been around?
No, it's relatively new.
Huh.
there's been other games like Racket Fury, or like games that you play table tennis with, but this game does it so well. I convinced Jesse to get this game, and
Wow.
Jesse and I played him in North Idaho, me in my living room.
Yeah, you were just playing.
Seriously, there's a
Hours?
ping pong table in front of us,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we're playing like as if we're in the same room together.
That's so
Like,
funny.
there's only like a slight,
Delay. There's a little bit of a delay.
maybe it's not even that noticeable when you get used to it. Like with virtual reality, like
You adapt, right? Yeah.
you know, like that kind of quickly becomes your new reality.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so you just learn how to do it. You can spin, you can spike, you can. Like my serve, I've been perfecting in real life forever. Like, I'm able to do it in VR, like that. Anyway, I love it. Like, I challenge. You can play multiplayer with anybody.
Wow.
There's like a ranked mode, so you can play with people that are around your skill level. So, $20.
Yeah,
Ping pong.
I mean, I put a couple games on the list I wanted to talk about in VR, but in that vein, the game I just picked up that I've been having a blast with is called Pistol Whip, and Mike and I are pretty into Beat Saber. That's a really fun game. I mean, Beat Saber, if you haven't played it, it's a game where you just chop blocks to the music with lightsabers. Pistol Whip, very similar, except for you're basically like John Wick going through a club. You're on rails. You're just moving to the beat of the song, and you have to shoot all the people to the music. And it's really like colorful and neon, so it's like you're very like, you feel like you're in the music. It's all to the music, and it's fun. I enjoy it quite a bit. It's actually pretty challenging, really challenging actually, but it's fun. That's been my VR game that I can't get enough of right now. There's also Audica, but that's a whole nother can of worms.
So there's a coupon for me, well, for everyone that has an Oculus. If you buy a game on the app, it's 25% off. So which one of those do you think I should buy?
Oof. Man, between Pistol Whip and Audica, I think you like Audica more. It's a lot more demanding precision. It's made by Harmonix, which is the same people who made Guitar Hero. In fact, like, you have to calibrate. It tells you to calibrate your sound when you start to make sure it's right, because the timing has to be perfect on your trigger pulls. In Audica, you're just shooting to the literally shooting the music. Like, there's just different colored targets and different types of targets that you have to time and shoot perfectly. Some of them you hold the trigger, some of them you just pull the trigger, some of them you hold and move. There's also things you have to hit. And the soundtrack, I think the nice thing with Audica is the soundtrack's really, really good. Pistol Whip's still more in beta. They keep adding levels. So I guess it just kind of depends on what kind of feel you want. I think Pistol Whip is maybe a little more fun. Audica is a little more challenging. So both awesome though. I mean,
that's a tough one.
Yeah,
I was looking at both of them, and I don't know which one to pick.
Yeah, both pretty cool. Maybe you should just come to my house and try it after this or sometime.
Yeah. Well, the coupon expires in a couple days.
Oh, okay. But yeah, both great.
My webcam get fuzzier to you?
Yeah, it did all of a sudden. Does it just like decide that you're not the target?
Yeah, I don't know why it did that.
I'm actually using a GoPro with my cam link, and it's actually working pretty well. Pretty impressed, actually, a little GoPro. That's actually another video we could do on Hackfort Live, Mike. I got a motherboard for a GoPro 4, because I have a GoPro that's broken that GoPro would not fix. So I'm going to try to repair it myself. I found the exact OEM part on eBay. We will see if it works. My GoPro kind of works, but it overheats, and if I plug it in to like HDMI, this GoPro 4 will just freeze, and the video will stop working. So it's not really what you want a GoPro to do. So
it's not ideal.
No. So yeah. Anyways.
Good luck.
So yeah. That's kind of all we had for tonight, Mike. I mean, do you have anything to say to wrap up? I mean, I think, this is our pilot. We probably need to have anybody watching it live, but we will have it on Twitch. We'll probably download this one too, and maybe upload it to YouTube.
Yeah, we knew that going in.
Yeah.
And you know what? Doesn't even matter if no one watches it.
Yep.
Because it's always fun just talking to you, Sean.
Oh, Mike. No, for sure. And, that's why Mike and I want to do this, is he and I love, we really do enjoy talking games, and hopefully we'll slowly start to get some of you guys on here and get you on chat, and we'll bring some guests on. I mean, I'm more excited about that, especially after the pandemic. Mike and I really envision this being, we have the equipment, so we could sit in person with someone and talk to them, and then, do the different segments. So, I think that'll be really, really fun. I will probably do the next one in 2 weeks. We'll kind of watch this, assess, and, kind of up our game plan. I think this will just be a moving target. It's really, we're just doing this because it's fun. But yeah, I don't know. Let's say it's like 8:30 our time. Let's we'll wrap it up here. I'm going to play in a little outro, but then maybe we'll jump back on at 9 and play some Warzone and get wrecked. Or I'll follow Mike. I'm getting better. I finally changing my loadout made such a big difference.
Oh yeah, getting those loadout drops, you can.
Well, and just your starting loadout too is like so important. Like, holy smokes. So, anyways, well, yeah. Anything else you want to say, Mike?
Nope.
Well, cool. Well, thanks everyone and or no one for checking out our first show. And we'll be back on. Yeah, we'll be back on at 9. We'll kick some butt.
All right.
Let's cue that outro music, and I'm gonna go to the outro scene.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye, Mike.
Which is, for those of you who are not aware, Hackfort is a tech festival that brings the community together to share knowledge and new skills. Hackfort. Every year you sponsor Hackfort, which is, for those of you who are not aware, Hackfort is a tech festival that brings